Hey there, we're Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy, your book besties who take the novels you love seriously.
This is Jack.
And I'm Amy.
And together we mix smart analysis with fandom fun. So let's get into it.
This is our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episode where we read your thoughts and interpretations, as well as discuss breadcrumbs from chapters 1 through 4 of Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Silver Flames.
Before we dive in, don't forget Spilt. Spoilers, perspective, interpretation, language, themes.
If you'd like more information, please go back and listen to the start of Tuesday's episode. And if you want to submit your thoughts for our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episodes in the future, make sure to follow us on Instagram where we collect listener submissions. Now, since this is the first Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks of the season, I really want to emphasize for any new listeners, there are spoilers. Like, so many spoilers. You will hate me if you keep listening to this.
For this book, for the series, for every other series, for anything with SJM.
Anything SJM owns, has written.
Yeah.
The copyright belongs to her. The trademark belongs to her. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want nothing to do with something SJM has touched, don't listen.
No, this isn't you. We warned you.
All right.
I swear if you leave a comment saying,
why are there spoilers?
We will not stand for this, or we will not sit for this. We will stand for this. Sitting and standing will be used accordingly.
All right. Breadcrumbs.
Yeah. Do you want to take the first one?
Sure. In chapter 1, Cassian is thinking about the fact that Nesta does not want to live in the House of Wind and has gotten her own apartment. Quote, he got why she wouldn't take up rooms in the House of Wind. It was too far from the city, and she couldn't fly her winnow in, which meant dealing with the 10,000 steps up and down. SJM is like a hammer with a nail, driving this shit home about these 10,000 steps.
It's making me, I can do a solid, like, the 800 steps within, like, 15 minutes easily. I'm going to have to see, like, maybe I'll go to the gym tomorrow and just do steps and just do stairs and see how far I can make it.
Maybe one day we have to do a challenge.
There's women online who do that. It's taken them like a couple hours.
Yeah.
But I think we could definitely make it to 1,000. I think once I'd hit 1,000, like, the thing is, I know I could do 800 within 15 minutes, which means I could do 1,000 probably if I were to go relatively faster. I would do 1,000 under 20 minutes. Do math for me. Easy. I can get it done.
No, I'm impressed that you even did that much math. It'd be a little over 3 hours.
Yeah.
To do 10,000.
And that's just going, once we get for her to try it the first time, it's going to be hilarious because it's like, you're just going downstairs. Okay. That's the easy part. Also in chapter 1, Nesta thinks, quote, they kept paying for it after all. Not anymore. No, your show has come to an end.
Also in chapter 1, Nesta, thinking about her power, quote, knew that her silver flame came from a colder, darker place, a place that was old and yet wholly new. Obviously, her power came from the cauldron, which is always in contradictions, old and new, young and old, male, female, etc., etc. Yeah, and we're going to be seeing some of that silver flame.
I find it funny when the name of the book is in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to be like chapter 1, I was like, you know what? I forgive you. You're fine. In chapter 2, when Rhys and Farah hear about Nesta's bill, quote, Rhys had laid a comforting hand on Farah's, squeezing gently before he looked at Azriel and then Cassian and laid out his plans as if it had been waiting a long, long while. Like I was saying, in Frost and Starlight, Rhys hints to having planned this whole entire thing out to help Nesta and Cassian get together.
Still in chapter 2, Cassian thinks about the shield Rhys has around Farah. Quote, no matter that Farah already had a shield around herself courtesy of Rhys, it had been there at breakfast too. Part of my ongoing training, Farah had muttered when Cassian asked about the ironclad defenses. So strong they even masked her scent.
Mm-hmm.
Because people can smell that she's pregnant.
Her prego. Smellingness. Chapter 2. Nesta says, quote, and I'm not training at that miserable village. I love those little sly words of at that village. She will
Right.
train, just literally not at that village.
Right. She's being literal, and she says it multiple times.
Yeah.
Amren says to Nesta, quote, "You will not be a prisoner, but there will be no one to fly or winnow you down to the city. If you want to venture into the city proper, by all means go ahead. That is, if you can brave the 10,000 steps down from the house." More foreshadowing.
I have an overinflated sense of self. Like, there was a guy at the gym today, one of the guys that I find attractive. He was doing like the lift, like that was yesterday when he was like lifting the thing over his
Oh, yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
It was like 25 on each side plus the dumbbell. And I was like, I know it's a lot, but I feel like I could do it.
75?
I guess.
Because the barbell is usually 25
40.
on its own.
45 sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Depends. I don't know. I haven't, again, and meanwhile, I can barely toot. Either way, I'm like, put me on those 10,000 steps. I bet I can walk down. I can walk down. When Farah uses the word family to describe the Night Court's inner circle, quote, Nesta hated that word, the term Farah used to describe her court, as if things had been so miserable with the Archeron family that Farah had needed to find another one, had chosen her own. Yeah.
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 Nesta, you
it
feel the
was
same.
miserable. Okay? Go fucking create your own found family.
Still in chapter 2, Nesta thinks of Feyre, quote, "There was nothing to bind them together anymore." Famous last words. There will be something to like make sure you can't let go.
No. In chapter 3, in Rhys's office, there is a, quote, massive working model of their world, the stars and planets around it. It could not only track the sun, but also tell time, and it somehow allowed Rhys to ponder the existence of life beyond their own world and other things. Like the orrery in House of Sky and Breath.
I can't remember. We might even see an orrery in House of Earth and Blood. And this...
Yeah, we do.
And Silver Flames was written between Earth and Blood and Sky and Breath, right?
Yeah.
So that's a little multiverse clue. In chapter 3, we get a reminder that the bone carver once called Cassian the, quote, Lord of Bloodshed, which I just want to say is a great, perfect match for a woman who will have power over death.
In my head, you're like, that's a great, perfect match for a woman who has a period.
Okay.
And he's willing to have sex on her period.
Yeah.
Lord of Bloodshed. I should save that.
You should.
I should save that. Oh my God. The next time, Amy, I'm with someone and period sex has had. Are you ready, Lord of Bloodshed? Please stop. Please stop. Why, Lord of Bloodshed? Sheathe your bloody sword.
The problem is I can see you doing that.
Wait, what? Did you ask so long as you could see it?
No.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said the problem is I can see you doing that. Like you would totally do that.
The other problem is, one of he or I would text you immediately after. Probably the same thing. Guess what I just said? She fucking finally said it.
Oh man.
Lord of Bloodshed. If you are with if anyone's dating a man is they're willing to have period sex, can you do that, please?
Tell us how it goes.
Can you be in the middle of it and say exactly how I said it? Like, yes, Lord of Bloodshed. Like I need that, please. Thank you. Let me know how it goes. Take one for the team, ladies.
I can't breathe.
I promise to leave your email anonymous. Poor Benter. I'm so sorry.
As she told me, periods are a natural thing.
And so is being a Lord of Bloodshed, okay? It's natural. All right. Now. Anyway, I've read mine. Or no, was that you who I
no,
need
that was
to read?
Me.
Okay. The next one. Quote. I'm not training at that horrible place. She's saying it again. Like, it's just these really good little clues. Like, my note was like one line. There you go. Continue. Go read your paragraph.
Still in chapter 3, right before Nesta takes a nap after she's gotten to the House of Wind, quote, that heavy hollowness tugged her down as surely as some fairy creature wrapping its bony hands around her ankle and yanking her beneath a dark surface, as surely as she had been shoved down that eternal icy water in the cauldron. Also, foreshadowing what happens when she retrieves the death mask.
Yeah. Don't call me Shirley.
That was my grandma's name.
Oh. Well, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Like, you say that all the time, too. Or at least there was a time you said it a lot. I also didn't know that was your grandma's name. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. Bummer. Okay. So chapter 4. She let the starlight gently brush her head, her face, her neck, imagined it running its shimmering fingers down her cheek as her mother had done for her and her alone. Later on, it'll be, quote, Nesta studied those distant stars again, half wondered if they might speak. My Nesta, her mother had always called her, even on her deathbed, so wasted and pale from typhus. My little queen. It's a connection between Starlight and Mother Archeron.
This is just speculation, but there's a lot of looking at stars and remembering Mama Archeron, and Nesta's about to get a star tattoo. I wonder what that could all be about.
That she was a, what is it? The thingy
Starborn?
that Bryce was Starborn, yeah. I was like, it's not Rhys running his hands down her cheek, no? That Mama Archeron is Starborn. I like that. Thank you. You saved us. Okay. Broomsticks, we asked our listeners, how do Nesta and Cassian's differing perspectives influence your thoughts about Nesta at the start of ACOSF? And we
also known as Silver Flames.
Wow. Take away my joy. Okay, so I'm going to read some quotes. When Jess says, Cassian views her like the rest of the inner circle, a problem to be solved. Nesta is a person who needs help. Interesting. Oh, I was about to argue you. And now I'm agreeing with you. But also disagree. And agree.
I mean, Cassian's viewpoint is not perfect.
Yeah.
Of Nesta.
No, I mean, like, I was about to be like, well, I don't think, no, I'm back. I'm on board. Yeah, he does see her as a problem to be solved. I think the difference is that everyone sees her as a problem to be solved to go away.
Mm-hmm. Not
and
to like how to rehabilitate her.
Versus Cassian wants her to actually heal.
Yeah.
Gabriella says, for me, it confirms and illustrates how she's been misunderstood the whole time. Agreed. If anyone even just remotely reads this book and is open to what they're reading, poor Nesta.
Yeah. If you read Wings of Ruin and Silver Flames back to back with no break, I'm sure it would be very illuminating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sierra says, I feel like both POVs show her at rock bottom. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Gretch says, I think it helped us see the good in Nesta before she could see it in herself, which I love.
Yep. Jess says, people don't always recognize trauma and struggle with its reality sometimes, like Nesta. So true. Nesta is a very great example of a traumatized individual. Melissa says, Nesta's character arc was one of the best arcs ever. I'm excited for it.
Virginia says, I have more sympathy for her, I think. If I remember correctly, Cassian sees strength. Eventually.
Lauren, I didn't like Nesta until this book. SJM did a great redemption arc for her in the detail. Steph says, I liked having their POVs. It let their true personality shine instead of Farrah's thoughts. Yeah. Steph continues to say, oh God, I have to remember what felt like 4 years ago. Yeah, seriously.
Colleen says, I have thoughts. Sindamon says, I love this book. It's Nesta figuring out where she belongs. She had the eldest child problems.
Yeah. But rebelled against those problems. Like she had the oldest child problems without
it said, fuck being the oldest child.
Yeah, kind of. Michaela says, Cassian had the love of a mother and Nesta did not. She was a soldier in training before he was. Wow, that's a good one. Damn.
Ooh, Michaela.
Damn, Michaela.
Snaps for Michaela. Hannah says, clearly Nesta is an unreliable narrator, but I like how Cassian's point of view fills in some of the blanks.
So, Wholesome says, I think it gives us more of a soft spot earlier on for Nesta, having him have faith and hope for her. Yeah, if we didn't have Cassian rooting for her, would the reader be rooting for her?
It's true. It's a great point. Jessica says, the struggle to read this book at first. Nesta is insufferable.
A lot of people feel that way.
A lot of people do.
We're here to know. I don't know. I have no stance. No, I do. We love her. Caroline says, I'm starting a re-listen so I can answer. But for now, just here to say I am excited for this. You know what? Thank you.
Thank you. B.N. Varango says, he gets the soft side and she gets the harsh side. They even each other out, and I'm so excited.
Sweet Pea says, honestly, Silver Flames really made me warm up to Nesta. Being in her head helped me warm up to her.
Creative LBD says, Cassian exaggerates how afraid of Nesta people are. The hookup wasn't afraid of Nesta, but Cassian. But who's the reliable narrator?
Exaggerate how afraid people are. Yeah, neither of them. I don't think I knew neither of them were going to be unreliable. I don't think I understood just how unreliable both were until these first few chapters.
Yeah,
I knew that from Nesta. I'm shocked with Cassian.
Yeah.
And if you want more confirmation of how unreliable he is, it's the fact that he never tells Nesta he loves her once this entire book.
Mm-hmm. You were personally harmed in that process.
I really am. I am. Continue. Read one, Amy. I can't right now.
Eve says, it's interesting to see how at the beginning, both Nesta and Cassian hate Nesta.
Yeah. Shout
Fair.
out Eve. Dreamy says, unless Nesta repairs her relationship with her sisters, I don't know if I'll ever have respect for her. Challenge accepted. I mean, who knows? This is going to be 12 episodes, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a journey and so will you.
Gabrielle says, love the story arc and Nesta's character development.
Laura loves lemon. Such a great... Oh my God. A ginormous moth came into my room. I'll deal with it later. Cassian is the reason the reader has hope for Nesta. He believes she is worth it.
That's a good point.
I mean, if we don't have someone having faith in us, will we have faith in us?
It's fair.
And the answer is no. I think we have some more DMs. Don't we have DMs?
You've got DMs and I've got emails.
Okay, that's what you were saying. We were like, you've got this and I've got that. And then I forgot what either of us got.
That's okay. That's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
All right. From Savvy. Silver Flames is my favorite ACOTAR book. Nesta is criticized by both the other characters and readers for the way she handled her trauma, but healing isn't linear and incredibly difficult to do with no support system, / a support system that only makes her feel judged. As the eldest child, Nesta lived through and remembers the entirety of the transition from wealth to poverty and had to process the death of their mother, loss of their wealth, and the loss of a reliable caretaker as a child. It angers me, the kind of accountability and responsibility the Inner Court expects a trio of humans turned fae that haven't even been alive for like 25 years to have. None of them were responsible for Valaris or the Night Court that young. So, to expect Nesta to buckle up and get it together like they didn't have decades and centuries to wallow in anger or pity is hypocritical. Rhys's ability to read minds and 500 years of existence should have given him perspective, grace, and more sympathy for Nesta, but his rose-colored glasses for Feyre would not allow it because, quote, Nesta's mean. Nesta was angry, traumatized, resentful, jealous, scared, grieving, and in an unfamiliar world. She worked her ass off in this book to unlearn bad habits, build new ones, relapse, do it again and again and again. I love so much that through it all, she found her people, her power, her strength in this book. Also, I hate the pregnancy trope. Thanks for listening to some of my thoughts. Sincerely, a youngest child who actually doesn't relate to Nesta at all, but loves her anyway. I love
funny.
that.
Yeah. This is essentially a popularity contest sometimes, I think, where Nesta didn't win the popular vote with Rhys and doesn't want to win the popular vote with Rhys. And therefore, the others aren't going to like her either. And that's just honest. Like, really, that's just more in Amren.
Yeah.
And because Cassian loves her. Farah loves her. Azriel, I don't think he gives a fuck about anything.
Well, they become friends in a way.
They become friends, but like, I don't think there's no animosity between Azriel right now and everyone else. I'm like, is it a B? I'll figure it out. But like, there's only 3 people here that have issues and beef with her. And it all stems from very personal reasons. Amren, she felt like she tried to help Nesta and Nesta said some mean things to her. So Amren's pissed off. Moore is jealous of Nesta and protective of Cassian. Sure, I'll give her that. And then Rhys is protective over Farah. It's a popularity contest. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah. If Rhys had said at one point, Nesta's my sister-in-law, get your shit together, people would have gotten over it.
Absolutely.
He set the tone.
But Farah also kind of let that tone be set. And I don't blame him for setting that tone. I would want my partner to have my back over my sisters also. Like, you know, be resentful and hateful for me when I can't. Like, I'm going to read a couple of DMs.
Yeah.
This one is from Raluca. Oh, I'm excited about this. My favorite book in the series is Silver Flames. I cannot wait to listen to your analysis of it. All right, this is from Arwen. Okay. I think that Silver Flames is such a great example of perspective, but so many readers miss this. They completely change their minds on Rhys after have spent 3 books getting to know him. And I'm not saying, nor would I ever say that he's perfect. However, nor that I would say his behavior in Silver Flames is out of character. But Nesta has never liked him, and she chooses to continue to see him how she wants to, and readers suddenly decide to believe Nesta's perspective completely and forget Farah's, and neither perspective is the absolute truth. Farah is biased by her love for him, and Nesta is biased by her hate for him. We are all victims of our own bias and our own perspectives. We see the world the way we want to, and it is absolutely different than how others see it. I think we've all known someone that maybe everyone liked, but we didn't, and vice versa. Like we were just saying, popularity. We also get Cassian's perspective in this book, and his feelings on Rhys, and readers like to ignore that, though Cassian is probably the most emotionally intelligent of the whole inner circle. So anyways, Silver Flames is about perspective and point of view, and most people miss that. Also, why do we have to choose? So many readers act as if to love Nesta then means that they have to hate Farah or vice versa. Why can't we love and value them all and see that their different perspectives both have value? I think many of us also relate to having a different experience in our own families than our siblings, and that's totally okay. End rant. Thank you. Looking forward to your analysis. I know it'll be insightful as always, and Silver Flames is so rich in emotional development, dealing with trauma, mental health, etc. I know it'll be great. And I didn't even mention that very significant multiverse crossover includes in Silver Flames. Yeah. It's a popularity contest, guys.
Yeah. It was Arwen? Arwen?
Yeah. Arwen.
Aaron? Aryn?
Yeah.
Aaron?
Or
I think.
Arwen. We don't
or
know.
Arwen. Yeah, no, she put it great.
All right. I'm going to read Hannah. I've been waiting for this moment. What a great lead. Trauma is so interesting, and the way everyone deals with it too. One thing I want to say off the bat is that people say they didn't give Nesta enough time like some of the other characters got from the war before ACOTAR started. My response is that Nesta was actively avoiding and hurting herself and pushing people away. I see the House of Wind as her rehab. Some people don't go voluntarily. However, it usually takes more than once, but this is a fantasy book. I think Cassian and Nesta's perspectives change more of what I used to think of Rhysand. But for the sake of this question, I will say that seeing Nesta's point of view opens your eyes to what trauma is like. Well, not perfect. How could it be, especially when you have to fit everything into one book? The description of trauma is amazing, and so is the healing process. As a therapist, I teach a lot of similar things. I specialize in trauma therapy, like movement, keeping mind stilling, fullness, making connections, and that we're familiar with. To hear/read the things Nesta thinks and feels and dreams can feel frustrating, and that's the point. It's not easy. And Nesta's upbringing didn't help how she has always acted/felt, which was then intensified being Fae and then trauma on top of that. Her survival skills kept her alive, and changing them looks frustrating from the outside. But it's even more frustrating on the inside, which is Nesta's expresses. I love that. Her trauma is what kept her alive.
Mm-hmm.
What an interesting way of looking at that.
Yeah, that is super interesting. What I also liked about that was, it just escaped my brain because I was formulating the thought. Damn it. Oh, what I also liked about that is, what Hannah said, if it's frustrating, that's the point.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is everybody's experience, but I know with my own depression, it's like I'm very self-aware of my loops, the thought loops that I have and I can't get out of. And I frustrate myself. Like sometimes frustration is not enough. Like the depressed person can be frustrated with themselves too. And
arguably, they're the most frustrated with themselves.
Honestly, true. And so I think for readers who read this book and are frustrated with Nesta, that's a modicum of what she feels about herself.
Yeah.
And that's important too.
I agree.
All right. Another email from Raluca. I will go through a bit of a rant, so please forgive me my lengthy message. I believe how we've seen Nesta be described until this point and her previous interactions with Cassian especially shape how we think of her. We have seen from the first book that Feyre doesn't have a very healthy dynamic with her sisters, specifically with Nesta. We have seen Nesta be judged and overlooked by those around her, maybe besides Cassian, but especially by Feyre. Granted, all of the previous books had Feyre's lens and perspective almost entirely, so it makes sense that by this point we mainly agree with her about what Nesta is like. I think it's very interesting how Cassian's perspective is, in my opinion, both very similar to how we've seen Nesta be described in the books before Silver Flames, but also very different, in that even though Nesta is now Fae, it humanizes her a bit more. Let me explain. We have always seen Cassian be more in tune with her needs and understanding of her experience. Silver Flames is no different. We see Cassian worry for her and display a level of understanding for her that we haven't really seen with Feyre before. However, I believe that Cassian doesn't fully understand Nesta, especially in the beginning of the book. We find out that it has been over a year since we last left off in Frost and Starlight. It is obvious from the first chapter in Silver Flames that this year has been rough for Nesta. She lost weight. Her cheeks are hollow. Her eyes are dead. Along these lines, yet, even though we know that going into the cauldron and being turned Fae has been a deeply traumatic event for her, and even though Cassian knows this, we still see him tuck his wings and plant his feet, falling into a fighting stance before talking to her, saying phrases like he, quote, prayed that the lovely home Feyre and Rhys had just moved into wouldn't be reduced to rubble after getting Nesta there. How nice that Cassian is concerned for Nesta's well-being after knowing what she went through, but more concerned about Rhysand's furniture. I understand that Nesta had unimaginable amounts of poorly controlled power after taking that something from the cauldron, but everything in Cassian's perspective in the beginning of the book makes her seem like a ticking time bomb and like a crisis management situation instead of a person. Meanwhile, we see from the get-go that Nesta still has copious amounts of PTSD and leftover trauma. All she can see is her father dying. She can't even hear the crackle of a fire without getting triggered. We find out that she was also deeply traumatized by the water in the bathtub and that she pushed herself to get over that trauma all alone. I'm almost done.
That's all right.
She even goes as far as to have 4 locks on her door in a futile attempt to, quote, keep the monsters at bay, as if those tiny things will give her more security. Basically, she's not well. Her perspective, even though she might not realize it or accept it, is a cry for help. We finally get to see inside the mind of one of the most hated and debated characters in this series because she was rude and a wildcat, quote unquote, And what we find inside is just the poor recovery efforts of a young woman who went through something and is in deep need of some therapy. Which reminds me, I started going to therapy at 26. I think Nesta's younger than that.
The poor recovery efforts of a young woman. Oh.
Yeah, that
I'm going to
hits.
sit with that one for a while.
Yeah. An uninformed young woman. While I do believe that Cassian is the most emotionally intelligent character of the Thorns and Roses series, I think he still has a long way to go at the start of this book. But for someone who has seemingly understood Nesta and seen through her mask, I would expect more than reducing her to just another enemy on a battlefield. I realize I've been going hard on Cassian right now. Honestly, I could talk about this for hours. I'm hard on everyone else in the Inner Circle and Silver Flames. However, having been that ignored and misunderstood person, I identify with Nesta, and I understand going through something and lashing out at the people you love, or icing them out. I'm not excusing Nesta's behavior by any means. The woman has a lot of growth to do, but I'm just saying, let's give her a little grace. Thank you for sticking with me through my train of thoughts. I fully recognized I am biased when it comes to Nesta. I absolutely love her and the story in Silver Flames, and I love you ladies and your amazing podcast.
I love it. Thank you. More people need to be harsh on Cassian because I worry I will not. I mean, again, I have my full faith in my ability of getting pissed off at a man, but keep me honest, ladies. Keep me alive here. All right, this is hilarious. This is from Eman. She writes, "Hello, dropping off my assignment for Silver Flames. Nesta's guilt, shame, self-loathing, and isolation makes her appear hostile, and she keeps pushing everyone away because of this, but also feels alienated when she sees Elaine and Farah interact with the rest of the Inner Circle after Mist and Fury. Why can't I grow out of my misery, but my sisters get to?" Which makes us empathize. But at the same time, we're led to think that she deserves this because she thinks she deserves nothing. With Cassian's point of view, he doesn't see her as broken, just wounded. He shows us this is her trauma response, not cruelty, which encourages us to look beyond all her mistakes and see the resilience beneath, which he ultimately cultivates and proves to be, in my opinion, a cornerstone of their relationship. That he is able to see her beyond walls, that even she loses herself. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I cannot wait for the season of Silver Flames. Yay! I love it. You guys, I'm just going to keep having hope for everyone and people in Cassian. This is from Caitlin. I don't know if Nesta is mean, bitchy, or self-destructive. Can't she be all three? For me, she's irredeemable until she works on her relationship with her sisters. Interesting. I love give it to me. Give me a controversial take. In Silver Flames, Nesta replaces Elaine and Farah with some other women she can seemingly start over with who don't know her. Maybe it's me anthropomorphizing Nesta in relationships that I've had, but I see and feel the same abandonment of Nesta in those within my own life. Instead of admitting fault and working to repair the hurt and pain caused on every side, Nesta, takes the easy route of starting over with her new people, as though the past will disappear. I see Nesta as a coward, and it gives me the ick. Oh, let's talk on that. What?
Ooh.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh, let's dig into this one. Said like the point of view of a person who might be Farah or Elaine. And that's not a bad thing, right? Everybody's got their own story and their side of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And it is cowardly for Nesta to not talk to her sisters. It is cowardly of Nesta to say, I'm going to have a found family. Farah did it first, but I'm going to go find a family and avoid trying to repair the relationship I have with Farah and Elaine. On the flip side, there's a lot of history between those sisters that, at least a decade's worth of history that needs to be worked through. That can't be worked through in one book.
Yeah.
But is also just difficult. I think the other thing is, I think Nesta and Farah, going back to something we said earlier, it would be great if the two could talk because they would see they have so much in common.
Yeah.
We don't know where Elaine's at.
No.
And there's no healing until we know Elaine's story and Elaine is open to that healing.
Yes. I love this comment. I'm like, I want to dive more into this comment. I think that when it comes to healing, can't it be both? Like, I think Nesta needs to learn what a healthy female relationship looks like before she can go and try to make a healthy female relationship. I totally respect this listener that's like, until you go and make peace with the sisters that you fucked over, I'm not all there for you. And yeah, she does go and find these other women. The only other true female relationship that she had, because Elaine is someone that she had to take care of, Farah is someone that she resents, was Amryn. And Amryn chose Farah. And
Amryn chose Rhys.
Amryn chose Rhys, which is even more heartbreaking. And the thing is, you need a bestie who's going to choose you. And it is messy and complicated. And there is so much history there. And, you know, you need someone where, like, if anything was going on with your family, Amy, I'd be like, well, this is so easy. I choose you. Like,
Yeah.
that's not even a question, you know? So it's like, you need someone to, even though Nesta's not right, like, and you need someone you just need someone that you feel like is in your corner. I think that's what it comes down to. Like, she doesn't need to be proven right. She just needs someone in her corner.
Yeah. Well, and I like what you said earlier. Nesta's never had a healthy relationship,
No.
regardless of gender.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, she gets to have a clean slate with Emery and Gwyn, but that's like the sandbox where you get to practice,
Yeah.
like you said, how to have a healthy relationship so that
Yeah.
she can learn and take it back and be like, okay, this is what I want. So I always think about this a lot with my brother who's closest in age to me. We were at each other's throats most of our lives until I was about 14. I went and visited a friend and went to summer camp with her. Then I went home. Dallin, my brother, went and visited the same family because my friend had a younger brother his age. So they hung out. They went to boys camp together. And when he got home, we looked at each other and said, we want to be friends the way that Anna and Mark were friends.
Oh.
Like, how can we figure out how to not hate each other anymore?
Like,
so
you saw how these other two siblings interacted and you thought, I want that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What a nice, healthy way of, like, at least approaching it at that age.
Yeah. And well, and we both, like, that's how we both remember it too. And I think, you know, and he and I have had a lot of disagreements recently as well. But we always go back to that relationship.
Yeah.
Of, like, how can we still be friends?
And Nesta, we're going to come up to a point in this book where they were going to be like, okay, someone like Nesta, we need you to go look for these artifact thingies or the trove. And she was like, no. And they're like, fine, we're going to make Elaine do it, or we're going to have Elaine do it. And she goes, why can't Farah do it? And she says in her mind, or like in her monologue, is like, I know what it means asking Farah to do this and what that says and how I value her. And Nesta can't come back from that. Like, you just can't. You can try to build something new, but that's the kind of history that there is no clean slate from that, except that there kind of is at the end of this book.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing, right? When you have 21 years of history of repeatedly letting each other down.
Yeah.
Of repeatedly feeling like the other person was favored and you weren't. That's a hard, like, one slight infraction causes the pain all over again.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got new friends who cause you one minor inconvenience, you can get over it pretty quickly because they haven't done it to you before.
This is why the pregnancy trope is needed, and people are going to hate this, is that Nesta cannot forgive or even tolerate Farah. And I say forgive because, you know, Farah took on the role of father, oldest sibling, a father, a provider. And she can't forgive Farah for doing that because Nesta was ready to let them all die for that. And it just kind of, her own spite looks useless now because, you know, so there's like, and then she can't forgive herself because she let Farah do that, right? The moment she can forgive and accept and embrace Farah is when Farah becomes the mother that Nesta never got. Nesta her relationship with her mother needed to heal, and it's never going to heal. And the replacement of that is her sister becoming the mother that none of them ever got to have. And
Mhm.
suddenly she can understand why Farah can have that disconnect with their mom. And it gives Nesta permission to have that disconnect from their mom and to be able to have that relationship with Farah and to be willing to die. Like, that's why the pregnancy trope is actually going to be extremely needed if you want Nesta to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, you gave me chills.
Thank you. I like this pregnancy trope. People are going to hate me, but I am not sorry. Okay, next one.
What I like about the pregnancy trope is that it's not for Feyre's growth, it's for Nesta's growth. Even though
Wait, no. Everyone take a moment to listen to Amy. That was great. That was really good. Sorry, I'm taking it in. That was fucking incredible.
And it's not Nesta who's pregnant, right? It's Feyre who's pregnant, but it's unlike every other character who had to have a woman die for them to grow.
Yeah.
Feyre had to have a baby and almost die for Nesta to grow.
That was beautiful. I love it. Great job. Great job. God, yeah, everyone. We are providing you guys so much. Okay.
I've got an email.
Okay, go ahead.
Rogan says, reading through Nesta's perspective forced me to view Rhys through a completely different lens I hadn't necessarily considered before. I felt I had been very complacent with Feyre's thoughts and feelings towards Rhys, which were certainly influenced by her mating bond with him, and made me question how romanticized he really was. Granted, I love Rhys, but the way in which Nesta describes him through the book definitely paints a different picture of him. I felt Rhys spoke of Nesta throughout the whole book as if she were an object of power, belonging to the Night Court as opposed to a member of his family, and I disliked that Nesta had to succumb to the far too common trope of forfeiting her powers for the benefit of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Nesta saves Feyre's life through giving away her powers, and only then does Rhys talk to her with respect. It definitely made me question if Rhys had to separate Nesta from her powers in order to really see her. I had to ask myself if Feyre had been the one in Nesta's emotional state and putting walls up with her family through grief, would she have been villainized in the same way Nesta was? I'm ultimately so excited to hear what you guys have to think about this book. Definitely my most anticipated season. By the way, Nesta is of Iron Teeth descent and nobody can convince me otherwise. So I like this idea that Nesta is an object of power because that's how her mom treated her. She was a trophy. She was a prize.
And that's how Rhys does treat her.
That is how Rhys treats her. And I do wonder to what extent he is as awful as he is to her in Wings and Ruin, in Silver Flames, and Frost and Starlight, because her power is a threat more than anything. Is that the driving, is that the buried truth of it?
I think so. I think I 100% can see that. And to the point where I'm like, isn't it written like that? Where I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely, I'm on board. He sees her as a threat. He sees that threat as a weapon. And what better weapon than someone who was raised to be a weapon?
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly the same way he treats Bryce.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bryce is
a weapon.
He views her as a weapon.
I forgot. I'm like, Rhys treated Bryce like that? Yeah, you're right. I forgot. Yeah. God, I need to go back and re-listen to that book. That's going to be one. Oh, shit. I should probably do that now.
Maybe.
Anyway. All right. I'm going to read one more and then we can save some of these for a listener episode thoughts.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. This comes from Isabel. It's been a long, long time since I read Silver Flames, but I think their differing perspective helps to humanize Nesta a bit. I remember being low-key frustrated by her character during the first read because she felt selfish and taking advantage of everyone else's kindness. But I understand where that came from because she was suffering from substance abuse and depression, if I remember that right. I think a reread would make me feel differently about her and understand her better. Cassian's point of view, I think, helped to humanize her and provide some comedy and lightheartedness and soften her edges a bit. I think him seeing the good in her helped us to see through her harder exterior. I'm excited to hear your analysis on this book and be shown how to see the characters 100 different ways that you two do best. I love that you challenge listeners to open our minds to all the different sides of a character's and themes.
Aw. You know,
Thank
I
you.
feel like we're coming in soft. I feel like I've done nothing this episode. I don't think I've challenged anyone.
I think we've had some great thoughts.
Yeah, but like, we've been
We're
more
just-
controversial.
We're just getting warmed up.
I think, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. I really do feel like my brain was like struggling to come out of first this episode. And if you feel like I've made myself in the third gear, maybe even fourth gear, thank you.
Yeah, I think it doesn't help that half of our Air of Fire season, we also struggled.
We were beaten down. It doesn't help that morale took a hit.
You know, take Air of Fire writing quality and compare it to Silver Flames writing quality. Like, it was a hard job we had.
That is true. That was I don't want to go back to Air of Fire. I don't want to do that again.
No.
That was a hard season. Yeah, the writing quality was rough at points. Other points, it was fantastic. It was like, where did you come from? Where did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Silver Flames is going to be an interesting one. I think it was like, you and I looked at each other over text and was like, was chapter 1 really long?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like, and then later on, you and I were both like, all of the meat and stuff was in chapter 1 and 2. Everything else just kind of started cruising along. But I think this shows that when SJM has something to say in this book, she's going to have something to fucking say. And we are going to be here and listen.
And analyze.
And
Over
analyze.
and over again.
At least until episode 12.
Thank you for listening to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy. Join us next week as we dive into chapters 5 through 11 of Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Silver Flames.
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps other readers find us. And of course, we'd love to hear what you thought of today's episode. Share your comments through our forum at booktalkforbooktalk.com, and we might feature your feedback in a future mini episode or in a Patreon exclusive episode.
For merch and more ways to support the show, head to booktalkforbooktalk.com. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the handle Book Talk for Book Talk. And don't forget to join us as we keep the analysis going by subscribing to our Substack to get more insights into the romantasy and romance genres. Head to the subtextsocietyjournal.substack.com.
Bye.
Bye.